still is putting on this fake deal.
Yeah, I mean, how long is he going to drag this? Shanny and Rev made me lose the house. It's been 9 months. You telling me in 9 months he couldn't get a job?
9 months? Come on, dude.
In this economy, when job unemployment is the lowest it's ever been.
You know the convenient we always used to go to get the beers?
Mm-hmm.
They were looking for new people every month there.
Yes.
Because it's a college town and people leave and they're in need of employees. They were always like, why don't you come and work here, dude? You're here all the time. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to work if I don't have to because my tax person tells me not to work because if I did, I'd be making too much money and it would put me in a higher tax bracket and I'd be fucked with taxes. That's why I don't work, folks. I have job skills. I can operate a cash register. I can add 2 and 2. I have job skills. My tax situation is such that I can't work because it would put me in a higher tax bracket and I'd be paying huge tax.
Go eat some food. Go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Sowing and Reaping YouTube channel. Some of you probably ain't gonna like this video today. A very small percentage of you. Some of you are gonna understand why I'm doing this. But I'm just tired of watching Shanny's Twitch, and I watched a couple of videos that they did where they were eating some food and they was playing their video games and Shanny was complaining at her audience and everything. And I want to talk about this a little bit today. I want to talk to Jason about why he needs to stop being so freaking pathetic. And then why, something of a rebuke to Shanny from a biblical perspective. So let me go here to the comment section real quick and take a look at this here real quick. We got, who's here? We got Tasnum here, Amory here, Fatima Blue here, Amory here. I think I said Auntie, but just in case, Auntie. Nemesis is here. Roland is here. Firefly is here. Jules is here. Boss is here. Shirley is here. And I thank all you guys for coming here to watch this. But this is going to be a direct rebuke to Jason Avocado, and Shanny for Shanny. And And I'm going to start doing a little bit more of these videos to try to get to Jason. Shanny, first of all, let me say this to you. You are 100% correct when you tell everybody that I was talking behind your back. You're 100% correct about that. I'm not going to argue with you about that. And the reason why I'm not going to argue about that, because I was trying to talk some sense into your man. He was making a lot of poor decisions prior to meeting me. You know what I mean? He was making poor decisions after he met me. Guys, give me a second. Move. Stop it. She was messing with my camera equipment here. Well, not my camera, my phone, and how it's plugged up and everything here. Cut it out. You want to come up here? Come up here. You want to come up here? I should have put you in the other room. But anyway, not that. Don't go back on. No. But anyway, Jason was making a lot of poor decisions. So I'm going to start with him first, and then I'm going to go into Shanny. First and foremost, Jason, now, mind you, an argument could have been made about this even when you had the money that you had, dude. I got difficulty referring to you. I'm having difficulty referring to you as a man. I'm having difficulty looking at you like you're a man. I'm having difficulty wanting to treat you like you're a man. And my reasoning for this is, well, actually, let's go to the Bible here real quick, first and foremost, so that you can see what I'm talking about here. I just want to read a couple of verses here real quick, okay? It says, be watchful, stand firm in the faith, act like men, be strong, let all that you do be done in love. You don't do that. Titus 2:7, show yourself in all respects to be a model of good works, and in your teachings, show integrity and dignity. You don't do that. You don't show no integrity all the time. Very little do you actually do that, and you don't act like you have any dignity. And the final verse that I want to use is in 1 Corinthians 13:11, when it says, and then I got another verse I want to use when I finish everything I'm going to say to him. It says, when I was a child, I spoke like a child, I thought like a child, and I reasoned like a child. And when I became a man, I gave up childish things, something that I don't think you've ever done, because you seem to be more concerned with your video games and getting high than you are about your taking care of your responsibilities, which would be your fake wife, which is your girlfriend, the woman that you're shacking up with, and just trying to have pleasure 24/7. You know, I watch your stream. You obviously don't want to be online. You obviously don't want to get on here and go live. And we all saw it in your previous video. All of us saw it. Move. Give me a second here, guys. I'm sorry. I got to do this, because if I don't, my cat's going to knock this stuff over. Come here, you're going in the other room. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. We're going in the other room. Go. Get in here. Get. Give me a second here, guys. I apologize. But if I don't do this, my cat's going to knock everything over. Get over here. Here. All right. She'll start that meowing soon. All right, so let's get back into this here. Always a distraction. Okay, so you're more concerned with fulfilling the wishes of Shanny and playing video games and constantly being in a state of pleasure all the time. You never have this mentality of wanting to get your life together so that you don't have to struggle and beg anymore. You seem to embrace this new lifestyle of yours. Jason, let me just take you down memory lane here real quick and remind you what you used to be like. Back when you was secure, when you was able to hide all of this stuff about you, I guess, or before you changed, you was able to go into these rooms, have these conversations with people about whether or not God existed or not, try to help Nadia with her depression and all this other stuff. You know what I mean? But while you was doing, my cat's over there meowing. While you was over there doing those things, I don't think it ever clicked in your mind that in order to be considered, you know, a man or whatever, that you would have to say no to certain things. But let's just go on with this or whatever. You was going into Nadia's rooms. You were doing your streams. You were doing you were doing the Revelation News prophecy stuff on your channel. You were doing what you enjoyed. You was doing your stuff about whether it was the Republican Party, the Democratic Party, conspiracy theories, and all that other stuff and whatnot. You was doing those things, and you had a large following. A lot of that following is not following. The majority of that following doesn't even know you're on YouTube anymore. They don't even know you're on YouTube no more because you've been hanging around Shanny and doing the stupid stuff that you've been doing with her. You know what I mean? Like I said, you had the prophecy stuff, you had the conspiracy stuff that you were doing, and you were doing just fine. You had 16,000 subscribers. I remember when I first found out about that. I was going to Naughty Room bragging about my little 9,000 subscribers that I had, and I went in there. And he says, "No, G man, I actually have more subs than you." And I went on your channel, and that's how I learned about how many subs you had. You know what I mean? But you was into a lot of the Alex Jones stuff. Then after that, I guess Shanny started going through her stuff and everything and whatnot. And then you got in a relationship with her, and you let her change you completely. I want you to go do yourself a favor, Jason. I want you to go look at that video when you're telling Ms. Star to stop talking about your wife. I want you to go look at your face. Look at your demeanor. Only look at how you carry yourself. And you want to know what's really bad about this? You're an alcoholic at this time, and you're in better condition then than you are right now. I'm no longer going to allow you to give that woman praise for getting you off of alcohol while she has you on another addiction, but we ain't get that far yet. So when you was an alcoholic, you looked more healthy. When you was an alcoholic, you behaved better online. When you was an alcoholic, you was able to hold a conversation better. You had more patience when you was an alcoholic. When you was an alcoholic, you was better. You were stronger. You were more responsible. When you was an alcoholic, when you were drinking every day, you was able to tell people yes, and you was able to tell people no and do it definitively. Now, I don't know at the time if your mom was still alive when this happened, but the point of the matter is that you stood up for yourself. Then this woman started making all of these videos after she became available after the whole Chris stuff, and you got into a relationship with her, and you just slowly started to change. You got the wet brain. You allowed this woman to dress you up like a clown. You allowed this woman to put lipstick on you, stuff that you never did before. You deleted your YouTube channel for whatever reason, because you got Shanny or whatever. You know what I mean? You started smoking and smoking. In fact, you guys were so much into the smoking, you moved to a state where it was legally allowed for you to do that. You left everything. You left your house. You left your identification. You left your bonds. You left all of that stuff in that house to go all the way to Colorado on impulse without thinking about it. Because this woman who you never met before in person, a lot of you don't know this, but prior to them getting together, they never met each other in person. It was always on the phone. You let this person who you never even developed a real relationship with, face to face, come into your life and completely change everything. If you don't believe me, dude, all of your videos are still on YouTube. Go to XS Archive, XX, go on Shabby for Christ, go on I think Miss Parker has a couple of your videos. Drag has a lot of them. Go on. And I've been watching a lot of the stuff that I was ignoring. I even watch Irate Alex stuff. Irate Alex has got stuff that nobody else has. I really didn't know how many times you guys used the N-word after you guys was done with me. Drag, Life of a Free Spirit, and several other people. And you guys were just loose with this stuff. You were really loose with it. And your opinions about Black people, absolutely, absolutely disgusting. Or when you got involved with her, when you got involved with Shanny, you allowed this woman, listen to me, Jason, because listen to me, forget YouTube, forget the audience and all that other stuff. We both know you allowed her to change and destroy you. You was better off as an alcoholic, and I'm a Christian and I'm saying this to you. You was better off as an alcoholic because now she helped you get off of alcohol, and now you can't get off the Delta 8. And it's not like you stopped drinking completely, especially after Burnt Toast showed me that video with you guys drinking a little bit. You lied to me, man. You lied to me. But that's neither here nor there. The point is that you went from being a drunk to a Delta 8 head. And you can't stop. As a matter of fact, You are so bad on this that every time you do a stream and you get money, I know you're going to the store to buy Delta 8 or vapes or smokes. You wasn't this way when you was an alcoholic. Like, and Shanny, I'll get to you in a minute, but I'm going to talk to Jason here because he needs to hear this stuff. And honestly, I know the man still listens to me. Jason can get on here and put on that acting lesson all he wants when he gets on here. I can look at my camera and I know when he's full of it and when he's being real. And I know when he's listening to you, Shanny. I've been around you guys that long. I know. It's like I know you're watching right now. If you're not watching now, you'll be watching later. But dude, you need to learn how to say no. You look miserable getting online, sitting here e-bagging. Because you're doing it because she's telling you to do it. But you kind of got yourself to blame for this because you refuse to get up and go get a job. And you made all kinds of excuses. I play that intro on here for a reason, dude. You got on me saying it's been 9 months, you can't get a job. It's been 9 months, you couldn't get a job. Why don't you say that to yourself? Everything that you had, you lost. Everything that you had, you lost. Everything that your mother labored for and your dad labored for is gone, except for what you think you got in hiding or whatever. Which I hope is true, because then at least you'll learn from all of this and get away from Shanny and actually try to live your life, man, and try to get back to normal or whatever. But the point is that you're 90 million times worse today than you were when you was an alcoholic, dude. You can't even say no for one day to one of them Delta 8 oils. You can't say no for one day. One day you can't say no. Why do you think that's the case? Because you have allowed the devil, Satan, and you have allowed Shanny, his servant, to convince you that you need Delta 8 to function. You see, when you was an alcoholic, you believed the lie that alcohol was going to take away all your problems. You believed that lie. You're supposed to be trusting and leaning on Christ. What does the Bible say, Jason? It says to set your affections on things above and not on the things of this earth, right? Right? We're supposed to be going to Christ for all of our needs. Both of you are claiming to be Christians, and both of you are making yourselves look like non-believers because neither one of you have any faith. Jason, have you ever taken into consideration that God is punishing you for the way that you treated people when you had all that money? Have you ever taken into consideration that it is God himself that is chastening you and correcting you and is telling you that you need to get a job and start working? Jason, have you ever taken into consideration that you are an enemy of Jesus Christ? You keep saying that you believe in Jesus and you believe in his principles. If you did, you would do a Bible study right now and talk about what God thinks about lazy people. People who don't want to work. You won't do that Bible study. You want to know why? Because we both know the Bible ain't got nothing positive to say about lazy people who don't want to work. Dude, I would have, and I told you this in person, I'll tell you this now, I would have more respect for you if you were collecting cans, collecting bottles, collecting aluminum or copper or something like that, and selling that. Because you have a car. It's not like you can't take it to the scrapyard. I would have more respect for you if you did that versus you getting on social media and calling this a job, which is something else I want to get to. Okay? You get on here, right? And you say you don't want to be on social media, but this is where you're getting all of your money. Well, this and occasionally from your uncle. See, I'm not stupid. I know where you're getting your money from. Your uncle is going to give you 100 here, 200 there, 50 there. And then he's going to get tired of it. And you saw what happened with me. He's going to do the same thing. You think I'm joking? You just be patient and wait. You got to learn from your mistakes, man. You got to learn from your mistakes, unless you like being homeless or something. Oh, I'm going to get to the cancer stuff. Don't worry. I got something special for Shanny, because she don't know what the heck she's talking about. But regarding you, Jason, Jesus Christ is the one that's fighting you right now. Because if he was on your side, I promise you this, you wouldn't be on YouTube begging for nothing. You would be eating on a regular basis. You would look You wouldn't look so malnourished the way you look. Shanny doesn't look malnourished. Shanny doesn't look like she's starving. As a matter of fact, I'm challenging this idea that she was ever starving to begin with. Hungry, yes. Starving, no. You ain't no man, dude. You not providing for your home. But G-Man, I had $700,000 and I provided. That's great. That's awesome. What are you doing today? All of it's gone. Tough times are here. What are you doing today? Well, my uncle is providing us a place to live. And what are you doing with that time that you're living with your uncle? Oh, I'm sorry. You guys are doing exactly what you were doing in a hotel. You're doing exactly what you were doing in Boulder, what you were doing on Fisk, what you were doing wherever you were living before. You're doing the same thing that you was doing. You're going live and we're listening to Shanny complain and complain and complain and complain. And like I said, I'm gonna dig in her butthole in a minute, even though she probably will like that. But I'm gonna dig on her in a minute. But you, sir, you have a greater judgment coming to you because you're supposed to be the provider, priest, and protector. And then on top of this, I got another issue with you, Jason. Stop calling her your wife. That is not your wife. Not in common law and not even scripturally. She is not your wife. She's not your wife. She's not your wife, dude. That's your girlfriend. Go buy a dictionary, dude, or I'll give you one of those dictionaries back that was on that bookshelf. That's not your wife, dude. She can up and leave any time she wants. And there will be no legal consequences on her at all. What you are in, dude, is in a fornication relationship. I found a video on, I don't know if it's Shabby for Christ. It wasn't Miss Parker, but I found the video where you apparently bought her a $4,000 engagement ring. I found a video where Shanny's showing off this ring that was apparently $4,000, and you never married her. On behalf of all of the men out there that are watching this video, dude, you are stupid. Are there any men that disagree with me on that? That's watching this. Are there any men that are that's watching this that disagrees with me? You're dumb, dude. You spent $4,000 on an engagement ring and you didn't get married. And here's the thing, Jason. I'm getting legal with you. Every time I hear you call that woman your wife, I'm going to ask you to show me paperwork. She is not your wife. Not biblically. Having sex with a woman does not make her your wife. Okay? If you had sex with her and neither one of you you're a fornicator, dude. You're in sexual sin. And then on top of that, I've never heard you or Shanny say that doing porn was sin. I watched the video with you guys claiming that you're retired from it. I watched that. And you guys were sitting there saying that he was uncomfortable. In other words, if he was comfortable and he was okay with it and the bedroom light was okay, then you guys would still be doing it because you don't think it's sin. This woman has... Listen to me, Jason. I didn't know you before YouTube. I don't know what you was like before you was claiming to be a Christian. But there is absolutely zero sexually about your relationship that honors Jesus Christ. Zero. There's nothing. There are no redeeming qualities in it whatsoever. There is no fear of God in it whatsoever. She had you doing porn. She wanted to invite Dragna and his wife in on it. She's not committed to you. Wake up, McFly. She ain't committed to you. Now, let's get to the nitty-gritty on why you're really with her. And Shanny, I hope you're paying attention to this part before you get mad and cut your computer off. The reason why he's still with you is because you are filling a void that his mother left when she died. You know this, Shanny. That's the only reason he's still with you. He'd have been left you. He would have left you in Scranton when y'all first met, if that wasn't the case. Then take into consideration that you was his first and everything. You see how it is. Jason, listen to me, man to man. Guy to guy, yo. I'm sorry, man to boy. I can't say man to man no more. I'm sorry, dude. Until you start conducting yourself like a man, I can't call you no man no more. I'm sorry. So man to boy, or man to young man, or man to Mr. Pathetic young boy. If you want things to change in your life, you got to stop following the example of your prostitute girlfriend. Yeah, you don't like me talking about your woman that way, do you? I'm gonna tell you the same thing I told Drag when I was disrespecting Miss D when me and him was going back and forth. I'm gonna tell you the same thing. Okay, do something about it. Don't get on here getting all mad and getting all angry. Do something about it. I don't know. Get mad. Go get a job. Should prove me wrong or something. But you're not gonna do it because you're not of Christ. You're anti-Christ. Because if you was of Christ, dude, you would be trying to find a job honoring Christ and trying to provide for your girlfriend. As a matter of fact, you would take her to City Hall, try to raise $100 and something on here so you can get married. Not one fundraiser yet, so that you guys can go out and get married. Why? So she won't lose her food stamps? Like, what are you, retarded or something? People can say what they want about me, but there's no way in the world that woman would have had me doing porn. There is no, listen to me, there ain't a YouTuber on this planet that believes that she would have taught me into doing porn. I wouldn't be sitting in the background while she's sitting in the forefront with all them false teachings. How many times have you had to correct her about the PS5 apparently being stolen, right? And then right live on camera, you corrected her. You know she's full of it. When are you going to tell her that, dude? And listen to me, she's dependent on you. The funny thing is, even if she left you, you would still eat. Everybody, well, not everybody, but a large portion of this community will make sure you have food if they saw you doing something for yourself. If she left you tomorrow, I promise you, you'll be eating. If you left her tomorrow, you'll be eating. She's living in your uncle's house. Your uncle's not going to throw you out, but Shanny doesn't have that same protection. She don't got that same protection. So she got to watch her mouth. She can't be putting her hands on you. The police can't be coming over there all the time no more. She got to watch it. But the way things are going right now with you guys on Twitch, oh, trust me, the police are coming over there again. They're going to start calling all those people again. You want to know why? Because Shanny can't watch her mouth on her own platform. She's getting on there cussing and cussing and cussing. And now let's just get off of Shanny for a moment. I'm sorry, get off of Rev and get on Shanny here for a moment. Shanny, I want to talk to you a minute. You keep saying that you're a child of God and that your God is avenging you and killing your enemies and all this other stuff and whatnot, right? A lot of stuff that apparently that I missed when I wasn't watching a lot of this archive stuff. Rev, listen to me, man. Even if you disagree with me, watch those archive videos, especially when you had wet brain. I want you to go watch those things. I want you to go watch. Nadia's videos are still up. Anybody want to know what I'm talking about? Go look up the Debate Coliseum. And you'll see a big difference. A huge difference between Jason then and Jason now. What you see now is a product of Shanny's manipulation and her lack of education and her lack of biblical understanding. Shanny, every other word out of your mouth on your stream is a cuss word, woman. This is the first thing that I want to deal with. He's saying you got the spirit of Elijah. Elijah didn't cuss, honey. Elijah did not cuss. The Bible tells us that edifying words are supposed to come out of our mouth to build people up, not MF, not F, not S, and all this other stuff that's coming out of your mouth. Your mouth is a garbage disposal. Okay, it is a toilet filled with poop. It is disgusting. All you do is cuss. Then you think it's okay. It's disgusting. So that's one reason. No, I'm just outright saying, don't give me that I'm a Pharisee in all this. Nothing you do glorifies God. You sit on your lazy behind lying about not being able to do anything. As God is my witness, if I get just one more opportunity around you, I'm going to prove this woman can get up and walk. I know what to say, and I know how to say it to get her to jump up and try me. And I'm going to make sure I get that on camera. She's full of it. At least now I'm convinced you're full of it. All right? Nothing you do represents the body of Christ or Christ himself. Nothing you do represents the church. You're literally getting on YouTube and trying to beg people and force people to giving you money so that you can do Delta 8. Because you're too lazy to get a stay-at-home job. As of today, you probably are the laziest person I know, Shanny, right now. And all this crap about you having cancer. Everybody saw that little darkening thingy that you got on the top of your boobs or whatever. From back when you was in Boulder, Colorado. And you've been dying of the same cancer since 2018, I think. It's 2022, and you're saying the same stuff over and over and over and over again. And I think some of that might have to do with your borderline or whatever, because this is apparently some of the things that I see. I'm actually reading up on that a little bit, and they tend to repeat this stuff. But Shanny, you ain't no doctor, you ain't no therapist, and you refuse. See, here's the thing with the people that are watching me, and if you're a Christian, listen to me here carefully. If she doesn't produce any paperwork for you that says that she has cancer, disregard what she says about having cancer. As of today, she has never produced any documentation to show that she has cancer. What she will show you is a bruise, probably from Red biting her too much or something, or kinky sex that they had. But if she has cancer, she needs to show people the paperwork. She refuses to do that. If she refuses to do that, she's lying. She's lying about having cancer. And then which is it, Shanny? Are you Italian? Are you Irish? Are you Russian? Or are you black? Because I noticed that when it's convenient, you wasn't even in the country when your people wasn't even in the country, according to you, when slavery happened. And you also argue that your people was enslaved in other countries, right? While arguing like a person who had slaves in this country. There are so many of these videos on YouTube, it's not even funny. How you're able to get away. You know what? Maybe I should start a Twitch account and call it Shanny for Christ. It's not like you can stop me or anything like that. But maybe I should, because you don't call yourself Shanny for Christ. You call yourself Shanny Needs Love. I'm thinking about starting a YouTube channel on Twitch, not a YouTube channel, a channel on Twitch that's called Shanny for Christ, and then putting all your old stuff on here so that people can see what kind of a liar you are. Now, you convinced Jason, you convinced me even for a little bit that you had all of these problems. I would come over there. You would have a hard time until I brought money there and said, let's go shopping. Then you would find the strength to go do what you got to go do. I once watched her crawl down the stairs. And after she crawled down the stairs, she was walking like a normal person. I am not playing. She was crawling down the stairs because she said that she couldn't stand up. And then she was able to walk around or whatever. But, woman, you don't got cancer. All this mess about you not being able to get up and walk. When you had your physical therapist, you were doing just fine. You don't want to do none of that stuff. This is what you want to do. You call yourself a woman, right? You call yourself an adult, right? But all you want to do when you get up in the morning, this is literally her routine. I am not exaggerating. This is her routine. Okay? She gets up in the morning, checks out her social media immediately. She's talking about Chantel. I'm talking about from 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning. She's talking about Chantel. She's talking about Truthfully Trisha and all these other communities, conspiracy theories, and all this other stuff. Sending Jason on errands and playing video games. And then at night, they might watch one old movie before playing video games. That is her life. See, Shanny, you shouldn't be concerned about people on here hating you on social media. You should be getting on yourself for being so pathetic and so lazy that all you want to do is play video games 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Video games, video games, video games, Delta 8, video games, Delta 8. That's all you want to do. That's all you want to do. Then you want to get on here and you act like people are obligated to give you something, Shanny. Listen to me. I watch how you built your Twitch. Now, I know you're getting ad revenue. That's probably how you're making the majority of your money. But you can't talk to people like that and expect to get donations. You can't cuss people out and expect to get donations. You can't have your boyfriend get on camera and do this, not talk about nothing, not answer questions, not agreeing to go on other channels and expect to get money. Y'all so lazy, y'all won't even go on another person's channel. That's how lazy you guys are. And you don't even see it. Not only are you guys addicted to Delta 8, but you guys are addicted to laziness. It owns you. Don't give me this garbage that you're a daughter of God or you're a son of God, Jason. Stop it. Stop it. I don't think either one of you know Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, because if you did, you would act like it. Now, Jason, don't get me wrong. I know you're running the errands. You're going to the store. I know little kids that can do that. You're going to the store. You're putting gas in the car. Very good. You're wiping her butt. You're bathing her. You're washing her in the shower. Hey, Jason, remember earlier when I told you that God is your enemy? One of you is going to be taken out of the picture if y'all don't repent. Now, I can see the Lord Jesus Christ letting you live in your squalor until you repent. I can see that happening. I gotta let my cat out that room. But I can see him letting you stay in your squalor, but I can also see him taking one of you out too, to get the message to you. Jason, a lot of people here watching me right now don't agree with this, but I'm talking directly to you. After the death is the judgment. What are you going to say to Jesus Christ? Do you honestly believe he supports your porn? Do you think he honestly supports you sitting around playing your video games all day? And do you think he supports you shacking up with Shanny? Do you honestly believe that? Well, you're a Pharisee. We live by grace. You don't even know what these words mean. Stop it. You don't know what a Pharisee is. You don't know what grace is. You don't know what the commandments of Jesus is. You don't know none of that stuff. Just shut up and listen. Just shut up and listen. If you were judged today based on how the two of you are behaving and conducting yourself in front of everybody while calling yourself a child of God, not the rest of this community, you have a one-way ticket to the lake of fire for all of eternity, Jason, in which you will never see your mother again. Because if your mother was saved, I don't know what I honestly don't know where you think you're going, because you don't act like a saved person. You act like a demonically devil-worshiping sinner. That's what you act like. Shanny acts like a witch, because she prays to Almighty Delta 8. There's only one thing that can take away her pain. There's only one thing that can save her from her sins, and that is Delta 8. That is your testimony, Shanny. And Rev, that's your that. And Jason, that is your testimony too. Thou shalt believe in Delta 8, because Delta 8 has the power. Because, Delta 8 is considered pharmakia. Go look in the book of Revelation, what happens, I think in Revelation 17 and 18, where it talks about what happens to the world and all of its witchcraft. And we get the word pharmakia from witchcraft. Remember when you tried to convince me in a car, Rev, that witchcraft was in line with Christianity? Stop listening to Shanny. For starters, and I don't mean it to be disrespectful, but I think a lot of you know where I'm coming from. A lot of you are going to get mad when I say this, but you want to know what? If you've been watching me for any period of time, you know where I stand on this. For starters, Jason, she's a woman, and a stupid one on top of that. She don't know what she's talking about. She hasn't been knowing what she's been talking about for a very long time. And you think I'm alone in this? Go check the Christian community. Go to Rand, go to Veckel, go to Bible Thumping Wingnut. Go to anybody, whether they like me or hate me, especially Cherry Love. I dare you to go to Cherry Love. That one would be funny. Go to any one of these guys. Even the Hebrew Israelites know what she's saying is stupid. I'm not calling either one of you Christians. Both of you are heathens, and both of you are into worshiping pharmakia, because both of you have convinced yourselves that without pharmakia you can't function. Like I said, Shanny, you have come a long way on here. You went from being this humble woman here on the net to being absolutely disgusting. Like, I don't even know how to describe you in even worldly terms. I guess the best way. How many of you ever seen Spaceballs? How many of you have seen that? It was a knockoff of Star Wars. How many of you ever seen Spaceballs? How many of you have ever seen Pizza the Hut? Now you got Jabba the Hut and you got Pizza the Hut. I'm sorry, but Jabba looks better. Shanny reminds me of Pizza the Hut. She went from being somebody that portrayed. Y'all gonna laugh when y'all hear this one. Some of you gonna be. Make sure you ain't got nothing in your mouth when you hear me say this. She went from somebody portraying herself like I was gonna say Pocahontas, but that's not true. She went from somebody portraying herself like Elvira, I'll put it to you that way, to being like Pizza the Hut. Just watch her early stuff and you'll see what I'm talking about. Yeah, it was a parody of Star Wars Celebrity Juice. I'm sorry, but oh God, you're just disgusting. You did porn on here. You talk about who's eating and licking you and all this other stuff. You go on people's channels and show people, those mountains you call boobs. And I'm not even going to go into your odor and all that stuff, Shanny. Like I said, when I met you in person, people will run into people, particularly from India and like particular religious fields, that don't believe in deodorant. That's one thing. But Shanny has no excuse. When I went in her bathroom, she had Irish Spring, she had Dove, and the woman never put no bloody deodorant on. But Shanny, you ain't got no cancer. And nobody's obligated to give you a dime. Now, if you want to provide a service, those who want to know what I'm drinking, if you want to provide a service for people online, when you talk about something without cussing everybody out, then you can say, well, if you want more of this, you can donate. But woman, you don't know the first thing about business. You don't talk to people like that and expect to get donations. Like, you got to be the dumbest broad on YouTube. You really do. How you doing, Vecco, man? God bless. You got to be the dumbest broad on YouTube. Neither one of you had a Teespring. Neither one of you got a Zazzle Star or whatever you call that mess. None, all you guys do is get on here and you want your little cheap 30 or 40 minutes and you want to get revenue that way. You don't want to get up and work. I don't understand that. And this is really going to make her mad. Shanny, my family will outwork your family any day of the week. And I don't even know the rest of your family. All I know is that you represent yours. And if the rest of your family is anything like you, my family will outwork your family like that. You're an embarrassment. And like I said, Jason, the Egroff legacy is a laughing stock. It's the biggest laughing stock in Scranton right now, dude. The Egroff legacy is the biggest laughing stock in Scranton right now. You think your mother would be proud if she saw some of the things that you were doing right now? I think your mother's the last person that you want to see. I can see Shanny cussing your mother out. That's what I can see. I can see Shanny saying that your mother want to destroy my heart. I can see your mother saying a lot of that stuff. All we got to do is ask Shanny, where's your kids? That's right. CPS took them, and they don't seem to be too enthusiastic about getting them back because they don't want to do what's necessary to get them. Because the question is going to come is, can they afford to have them back? And they think by getting $30 every time they go live that they're going to be able to afford to get their kids. I've been in their presence on multiple occasions, and I've heard Jason, both on YouTube and in person, saying that he wished it was just her and him. And now they got what they want, and they're still miserable. I think they were getting like $700+ a month for food stamps. I think they were getting, and they said that a family of 4 can't live off that for a month, which is hilarious because I could take 400 of that and feed a family of 4 for a whole month. Because I know how to shop, and I'm not trying to buy caviar every day. No summer camp vacation, my foot. That ain't no summer camp vacation. They got their children taken away from them, and they're never going to get them back. They're never going to get them back. They're not going to get them back because neither one of them are doing what they got to do to get their children back. See, I think my stories are good about Shanny when I met them in person and everything. Wait until Jason wakes up. Wait until he wakes up. Y'all ain't hear nothing yet. I can't wait to hear personally myself some of the theories that I got about how they sat back and they plotted and planned about certain things. And I'm really particularly interested in hearing from Jason about the tire on the car and whose idea that was. I really want to hear about that because they convinced me and they convinced a couple of other people, not that many, but a couple of other people online that that tire was slashed. Okay. We all know now from different things or whatever, me personally, because I don't trust those two no more, that obviously nobody went over there and did that. And I had to come over here and apologize because I listened to 2 liars on the internet. And Shanny, I'm not done with you yet. I want to know how you think you can get on here and get away with calling yourself a Christian on YouTube all these years and then behaving and talking the way you behave. I mean, behaving the way you behave and talking the way you talk. That mouth of yours is disgusting. Like, if it was up to me, I would go buy one of those cement trucks, but I would take the cement out and I would put nothing but soap in it and then put a big holes in your mouth and clean your mouth with that. It probably wouldn't do that much, but I would just shoot all of that in your mouth to try to get that garbage out of you. It's disgusting. Every other word out your mouth is a cuss. And Jason, your theology sucks, dude. Your theology sucks. You don't even got the basics down, dude. You have allowed this woman to completely destroy anything good that you ever did online. You have allowed her to destroy all of it. And you're not embarrassed. You're not ashamed because you want to be YouTube's #1 e-beggar. The legacy of the e-groffs. To be YouTube's #1 e-beggar. Because, you know, you got to please that hooker that you're with. You got to please that whore that you're with. I'm going to say it again, Jason, because you can't do nothing about it. Even if I gave you an invite to meet me somewhere, you can't do nothing about it. All you're interested in doing is pleasing that whore. And I can call her a whore because how many times in your very presence have you allowed this so-called weaker vessel to say, I'm not attracted to men. I'm not attracted to men. Right in front of you. Shanny, I got bad news for you. Not even a lesbian on the street is gonna want you. I don't even think a homeless transgender person is gonna want to be with you. I don't think somebody who identifies as a cat or a dog is going to want you. And it's not like you cost a lot. You're extremely cheap. All you need is somebody with minimum wage, and that's it. And Jason's gone. Jason's the only dummy that doesn't believe that you'll get up and leave. He doesn't know all of the things that you said, Shanny, when he was locked up. And how your kids was calling me daddy. You moron. Your boys was calling me daddy. Your boys was calling me daddy. Your boys was calling me daddy. Now, of course, Shanny's going to call me a liar. Shanny, you can call me a liar, but show the receipts. And I'll G-smack you into oblivion. As a matter of fact, I might G-smack you into oblivion anyway, because I still got those recordings. I got something I want you guys to hear, but I gotta find it first. But here's the thing, Shanny. And by the way, when I say this, I'm talking about along the lines of her, or how I believe she was cheating on him. She always put herself in a position where I could swoop in and save her and get. Like I said, I showed you guys the text messages where she offered to, how can I put this? Where she offered to blank my brains out if I just kicked him out of the house. But Shanny, your boys was calling me daddy. Jason, you is such a good provider that your boys were calling me daddy. Your boys were calling me daddy. Yes! Yes, yes, yes! When he was in jail. And then on top of that, the boys didn't want him to come home because they was afraid that he was going to do it again. I ain't using no metaphor. And Shanny, if you disagree with this, Shanny, because I know you're watching, make your video, claim you wasn't watching my stuff, and then talk about it. But Shanny, let me be completely literal here. Between me and Jason, who bought your? I'm talking about from Fisk. No. Forget Fisk. When you left Boulder, Colorado, and you went to the uncles, and then you came to Fisk. I got a question for you, Shanny. Who bought your kids clothes? A lot of you don't know this, but when they were packing up all of their stuff, and a lot of the stuff that you guys see in those videos with her when she's getting ready to move, I own those things now. I'm going to do a stream, and I'm going to show everybody exactly what I have. I'm going to show people what I have. Just to let Shanny know she can have it back anytime she wants. I just require her to get a job. I'll give it all back to you. Beckel, man, there's a lot of stuff you don't know regarding that household. But anyway, Jason, let me ask you a question. Who's buying your kids clothes? Jason, wake up, McFly. McFly, wake up. Jason, who's buying your kids clothes? Who's buying your kids food? It wasn't you. It was myself and Shanny. Shanny had food stamps, and I was doing it. You know what you were doing? My mental. Here's a little song I wrote. That's what you were doing. That's right. He was right about that. I was paying their bills. Who paid your light bill? Jason. Paid your water bill. Who bought you clothes? The clothes that you still wear to this day. The clothes that your woman is wearing. Whenever you guys see her wear that orange shirt, I bought that for her. You ain't buy that stuff, Jason. I want, and how many of you see that black sweater that she's wearing with all those stars? I told her to throw that junk in the garbage. Let me go buy you another sweater. He said, you better not. I spent all this money on it. That, if you guys smelt that sweater, you'll understand why I tell you guys. Because honestly, if you could picture somebody walking around with a bunch of moths following them and whatnot, that should give you an idea of what I think of that sweater. That sweater stinks, it's holy, and it ain't no good. It's trash. It needs to be thrown in the garbage. But I'm the one who took care of those kids. I'm the one who took care of you, Jason. You're supposed to be a man, and I took care of you. You want to know who took care of your wife? I'm sorry, my bad. Your girlfriend? Or the slut? I took care of her. You did nothing but my mental health. I'm not raking no leaves. I'm not doing this and I'm not doing that. Dude, let me tell you guys something here. I was going to give, okay, so I was going to try to sell the house, right? And I pulled Jason to the side and said, Jason, I will give you, I think I told you guys this story before. I think it was anywhere between 5 and 20 grand if I sell the house. I was going to give him between 5 and 20 grand. Guess all he had to do? All he had to do was mop. All he had to do was sweep. All he had to do was mop, sweep, keep the house clean, and make sure it didn't stink. He couldn't do none of that without me getting mad first and getting on his case about it. Now, I got pictures of him finally doing it after I got on his case. Because when I lived there were never flies going around that house. There were never mosquitoes and gnats all over that house. When I lived there wasn't things crawling in the rug, little tiny bugs. When they moved in here, that's when you saw all that crap in here. I can only imagine what it was like in Boulder. What is wrong with Jason's uncle? That's his family, and his family is going to take his side over what other people are saying. But I think what's going to end up happening is after that electric bill goes up, and after the water bill goes up, and after they mooch off of him enough, I probably say by June or July they'll be thrown out. Because the uncle doesn't have it like that. He has it worse than me. He has it worse than me. And if Shanny and Rev can't provide some money to be able to help out in here, I don't even know how they're going to pay the internet bill, to be perfectly honest. The internet bill is about $50 to $60 a month. If they can't find that, I don't know how they're going to pay for that. So they have to get food. They have to get. Oh, and by the way, Jason, who paid your internet bill too? I was the one who paid your internet bill. I paid your internet. You want to know why? I had a job and I was able to make money and do it. While all you did was sit there and talk about your mental health. Jason, listen to me. I ain't talking about when you was a kid, because I've seen that with my own two eyes. I've seen the documentation. Jason has a legitimate argument in terms of like when he was younger and whatnot, which is why I know he can get Social Security. I know that for a fact because I've seen his medical records from the time that he was a child up into him graduating high school. He wasn't necessarily all there or whatever with certain things. I don't know what his condition is, but he wasn't all there. I know that from the time that, and the only reason I know this is I've been through his papers and I know. As a matter of fact, that dummy doesn't even know some of them papers are still at that house. But I think the papers are still there. They should be. I think they're in the attic. But anyway, he has a legitimate issue. But this mess with him not being able to work, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. Because if he can drive his car from point A to point B, that means you can do Uber. You can do, and by the way, Jason, just to kill your excuses, I can do a GoFundMe for you. I'll put it in one of their names. I'll put it in Dragnut's name. How about that? So Dragnut can give it to you. I'll give him the responsibility of that headache because I'm done with you guys. Put it in Dragnut's name. He'll get you a car that can let you do Uber and all that stuff and whatnot. And then after you do your Uber, what you got to do is after you do your Uber, you got to prove that you're using that money. This is the price of other people helping you do. You got to show that that money is being used to pay your bills. Because if you don't, we take the car back from you. So we can do that because I don't want to leave you with any excuses, dude. None. What about you, Shanny? Shanny, I will talk to everybody here on the internet. We will find somebody that will find you an online job. You ain't got to get up and walk, you liar. We both know that you can do something just sitting down all day. I mean, you two are perfect for each other. But both of you are crazy. Neither one of you want to work. And both of you are not ashamed of being homeless. Y'all perfect for each other. G-Man, how can you say we're not Christians, brother? Don't call me brother. Stop it. When your woman repents of doing porn, and I mean repent, I ain't talking about because you was uncomfortable. That's not repenting. When she acknowledges that, and more importantly, on her Twitch, she says she's LGBTQ. Oh, yeah, I know how I feel about that. You got some repenting to do, woman. If you ever want to hear that word come out my mouth again. And Jason, I got a video with you talking about how your wife, even though she isn't your wife, was talking to another woman and wanted to get sexual with another woman, and you was okay with it. You and your yellow hair, your long, girly yellow hair. Shanny, if you get enough of these phones, did you know, Shanny, that if you invite enough people, if you invite one person You invite one person to do Cash App. Cash App will give you $5. Now imagine if you did that to 100 people every single week. That's something that you can do for money. All they got to do is join Cash App and get a direct deposit, and you'll receive $5 per person. $500 a week for doing that. But you're not going to do that. There's always Mary Kay. There's Amway. There's a lot of that stuff you can do. There's a lot of things that you can do, Shanny. Now, Shanny, you want to know why I'm getting on you about work? Let me just show everybody this opener, because a lot of you don't be here when I do this opener. I want to show you what these guys said to me when they threw me out of their house illegally. This is what they said to me.
He still is putting on this fake deal.
Yeah, I mean, how long is he going to drag this? Shanny and Rev made me lose the house. It's been 9 months. You telling me in 9 months he couldn't get a job?
9 months? Come on, dude.
In this economy, when job unemployment is the lowest it's ever been.
You know the convenient we always used to go to get the beers?
Mm-hmm.
They were looking for new people every month there.
Yes.
Because it's a college town and people leave and they're in need of employees. They were always like, why don't you come and work here, dude? You're here all the time. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to work if I don't have to, because my tax person tells me not to work, because if I did, I'd be making too much money and it would put me in a higher tax bracket and I'd be fucked with taxes. That's why I don't work, folks. I have job skills. I can operate a cash register. I can add 2 and 2.
Okay, so if you can add 2 and 2 and you can operate a cash register, then certainly you can actually start working then, Rev. You are not in the same tax bracket no more, and you can start paying taxes like everybody else. Get tax refunds get tax returns like everybody else. That's why I'm getting on your case about this. I'm getting on your case because you ain't got no problem telling everybody else to get a job, but you yourself, you won't get off your behind and actually do anything for yourself. You just won't. You just won't. Like I said, it's very difficult for me to watch Twitch stream. Beckel, if you're still watching this, man, go to Twitch, look up Shanny Needs Love. Notice now, she ain't Shanny for Christ no more. When you go on Shanny Needs Love, it's all about Shanny. It's all about Shanny. It's all about her. It's all about her heart. It's all about her needs. It's all about her wants. She can give a hoot what Jesus thinks about anything. She doesn't care what God wants. All she cares about is Shanny. That's it. That's all she cares about. All she cares about is Shanny. Jimmy, how could you betray me? How could you make a YouTube video lying to everybody saying I gave you a death sentence? You haven't even addressed that yet, Shanny. You want to know why? Because you're too busy worrying about Shanny. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You don't even care about your man and the fact that he weighs 3 pounds. And you don't understand, Shanny, if he dies, the uncle's going to throw you out immediately. Like the uncle's going to throw you out probably the very same day if anything happens to Jason. Anything happens to him. And by the way, Jason, let me give you some advice. Do not get an insurance policy and do not put it in Shanny's name. Okay? Do not get anything where she knows she's going to make a lot of money upon your death and put it in Shanny's name. Because I am convinced something's going to happen to you if you do it. Okay? You got to stop being stupid, dude, and learn how to think a little bit. You need to start reading your Bible alone, away from Shanny. Pray, talk to Christ yourself, and get as far away from that hooker as you can. And Shanny, since 2018, you was apparently going to die from cancer. You remember what you told me, Shanny? You told me that weed had the power to fight cancer. You remember that, Shanny? You told me that cannabis was one of the best ways to go about. I officially recant that. You want to know why? I don't recant it because you ain't got cancer to begin with. But here's the thing. And I believe that Drag was actually making videos about this when I was saying this. But it was you I got the information from when you said that cannabis was a good way to deal with cancer. How is it that you were smoking so much weed and smoking all that Delta 8, and now all of a sudden saying you're dying of cancer? Saying that you're probably going to die. You're probably going to die. You're probably going to die since 2018 or 17. I'll get back to my scriptures over here in a minute. Like I said, Red, man, you need to get rid of those video games. Get your mind off of that stuff, man. If those games mean so much to you when you get a job and you get a regular income coming in, you can buy that stuff on a regular basis if you want. All right? And you can sit there and say, well, did I say that when you guys needed it? You gave for the wrong reasons then, bro. You gave it for the wrong reasons, which was revealed when you and your woman started calling me the N-word. Oh, yes, Jason. It wasn't just her. It was you, too. I dare you to say you didn't. Because then I'll upload a YouTube short and show everybody what you said about me. It's on XX Archive or Shabby for Christ. It's on one of those two channels. What's this other scripture here? Here we go here, Rev. In Proverbs 27:17, it says, iron sharpens iron and one man sharpens another. Stop learning how to be a man from that hooker that you're with. You need to be around other men to learn how to be a man. You got to learn how to tell her no, dude. Tell her if she wants to go on YouTube and beg and prostitute herself for $30, tell her to do that herself. But if you don't want to be bothered with social media, dude, walk away and say no. Or stop calling yourself a man and start calling yourself Shanny's B. Because that's what you're acting like, dude. You do what you're you do what you're told when she wants you to do it, or else. You ain't no man, dude. You're pathetic. Hey, Rev, tell me if you're doing this. Be watchful, stand firm in the faith, and act like men. Be strong. Do you think you're doing that? Do you think you put childish ways behind you, dude? Do you think you're the head of your home? Do you honestly believe Shanny thinks you're in charge? Do you honestly believe she believes you're in charge? Give me a break. You're about as much in charge as Charlie Brown is to Willy Wonka and the chocolate factory or whatever. So, Jason, what you gonna do with this video, dude? You gonna ignore it and continue to be a bum on the street and beg people for money and beg and beg and beg? Or are you gonna take your own advice, dude? You know that advice that you gave me in the beginning of this video when you said that there was a convenient down the street that was always looking for people? Because where you live, there's a convenient too. And they're always looking for people. They're always looking for people. They're always looking for people. And you are not in this high tax bracket. You should go down there and try to work the register. And get off of this Shanny dependency. Oh, what am I going to do? I have to be with her. Like, I would literally take them to the store. Like back when I used to get in them big bags of tobacco. And I used to take them to the store, buy food and things like that. And we would go to Walmart, go get chicken and burnt hoagies. And it was always what Shanny wanted. And what Shanny wanted. And what Shanny wanted. And what Shanny. It was never what he wanted. I said, dude, I will get you more than a Red Bull. And I will get you more than some peanut butter. That is literally his nutrition. A freaking Red Bull and peanut butter. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Angry Roach. She says, take Revelina to New Jersey and put him in a good corner where he can make good money polishing poles. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Angry Roach. Like I said, Jason, there's a lot of things that you can do, dude. But you gotta take the first step, man. If you're not gonna break up with Shanny and you're insisting on staying with her, you have to get married. If you're not gonna get married, dude, you're in sin. Do not expect me to sit here and expect and respect that fake union you have. You don't have a union with Shanny. You two are fornicating. You're shacking up just so that you can continue to get food stamps. Cut it out, dude. How come G-Man couldn't say this to my face? Jason, I'll tell you what, Jason. I'm I'll give you $20, $25. How about that? Because I'm not going to give you more than that. I'll give you $25 if you agree to allow me to record a conversation with you to your face. And I will pay everybody watching this stream $25 individually each. That's 140. If you think that's 146 people right now that's watching me live right now, I will give every last one of you $25 each if you think I won't say these things to Jason's face. Sometimes I talk to Evangelist Ken like this. I assure you, I will say this to his face. You give me the day and I'll meet with you and I'll give it to you. And watch how you be like, yup, G-Man, you're right, Because to me, it's just sad, man. Like I said, you know you're doing bad when you was better off as an alcoholic. Shanny, stop bragging about helping this dude. You are absolutely destroying this guy. You turn him into a Delta 8 head, a cannabis head. Yeah, you got him off of the alcohol. Now you're killing him with the weed. Yes, I did. And I said this in his car. And like I said, you can talk to some of the neighbors. I talk kind of loud when I'm mad. So when I or when I'm really passionate about something, I guess in this case I was mad because when I was over there one time and I had somebody coming to look at that house and the house smelled the way it looked, and I looked in the tub and it was gray when it was supposed to be white. And that room that they were staying in was smelling like armpits and fungus, feet, and all that other stuff. And they didn't do anything I asked them to do, and there was freaking cat poop all over the freaking place, and the table downstairs had cat pee on it and everything. Oh, you better believe they heard my mouth. Did I ever say this to his face? Like I said, if he'll agree to this, I'll have a one-on-one conversation with him, and I will record it, and you will see me talking to him just like this, and expect him to go, "Yep, you're right. You're right. You're right." Expect him to do that. I'm not gonna say he's gonna say I'm right about everything, but he's gonna say I'm right. Jason doesn't scare me. He's never scared me. I remember the one time he wanted to do the sparring fight, and when we met in person, oh my goodness gracious, that one was fun. Hey, G-Man, let's have an arm wrestling. Yeah, we had an arm wrestling contest. I almost broke his hand. Oh my, he's frail. He's weak. He hasn't been eating. It's like Shanny prevented him from going to the gym to do anything. He has no muscles or nothing. You know what I mean? So, and I'm sitting there picking up center blocks and doing all this stuff to try to get that house together for them. You know what I mean? So come on. It wasn't even close. I said, you still want to have a spar? Please. And Shanny says, Shanny's laying that bed. I can totally kick your butt. And I looked at Shanny because Shanny's a woman, and this is the United States of America. I looked at Shanny. I said, Shanny, I can't hit you because you're a woman. Because if I do that, they're going to take me out of here in cuffs. And there's a lot of people in Scranton that's in jail for just doing this to a woman, nonetheless actually having a fist fight with them. So unfortunately, because of the unevenness in this country with these feminists, can't do nothing like that. So I said to her that if you try me, I know how to go in the basement, because then it'd be self-defense. I'll go in the basement and I'll just go get my chainsaw or something like that. And plus that's where my sledgehammer is, and God knows how many of my other tools were. So, and I know how to use them. So that's where he also left his rifle and all that stuff when it was there at the time. That's another thing. This guy is so lazy. The dude's got a rifle that's worth about $250 to $300 sitting at the police station, and he won't even go there to get it. He can sell it and get an instant $150. Absolutely hilarious. Somebody on YouTube will buy it, that's for sure. What I should do is go down there and claim it, since he gave everything to me in the house in the beginning. That's what I should do. Because if he ain't going to get it, maybe I should go get it. I don't know. But Shanny, no, stop calling yourself a Christian, please. No, nobody on YouTube believes that about you. Okay? Go to the Christian community. Ignore the atheists. Ignore the people that you've been going back and forth with, and go back into the great debate community. I dare you to go to the Bible thumping wing. Let's name some of these people. Talk to the Bible thumping wiener. They're not going to say you're a Christian. Matthew 4:19 is going to say you're not a Christian. Beckel is going to look at you and say, no, I'm sorry, I can't consider you a Christian. You go to Pillbox. Pillbox is going to start cracking up when he found out you did porn. Go to any one of those guys. True empiricism, any of them. Nobody's calling you a Christian. And I look like an idiot for doing it. Temporarily hurt my ministry a little bit standing by you guys. Temporarily. You're just as Christian as Valerie Love is. You know, with her Christian witchcraft and her, Course in Miracles that she does, Shanny. You are a user. You are a domestic violent abuser. Yes, you go around beating up on your man and then got the nerve. Then you got the nerve to get on YouTube. Oh, a man should never put their hands on a woman. You got the nerve. This is what I'm talking about, guys. A lot of you can call me sexist. Y'all can say whatever y'all want. But y'all got to give me this. If a woman is beating up their man, can he defend himself? Yes or no? She destroyed his nose at one time, gave him a black eye, made him shave his head. She ain't beating him. He looks like a... Okay, I'm going a little bit too far. I'm not going to say that. But he looks like a person who hasn't eaten in 12 years. And she looks perfectly overfed. I told Shanny and Red Remote, I said, the day she puts her hands on me, I will throw her out by her hair. Oh, and then Rev goes, and this is how you know he's pathetic. He has the nerve to say to me, oh, Shanny's gonna claim squatters' rights. And you want to know what I said to Jason? I looked at Jason, I said, Jason, she can claim squatters' rights. She can make me go through a little bit of a difficulty to get her out of there. But I can also take out all of the windows and condemn the house too while she's in it. I can remove all of the windows, remove the roof. I can remove everything in there in the middle of winter when it's 0 degrees too. Wait a minute, hold on. Trevor 2000 says, G-Man, if he hit her back, she would kill him. She's bigger and stronger than him. Yes, you're right. And he's afraid of her too. A lot of y'all need to understand something. The reason why he doesn't say and do a lot of things, because unless he gets really mad, he's afraid of Shanny. He's afraid of her. Shanny, am I lying about that, Shanny? I would love to have you on as a guest. Both of you. I remember back in the past when I get you guys on here whenever I wanted. Maybe I need to throw some money at you guys. I don't know. You know what? How about that, Shanny? Shanny, when you had your little 700 grand, you never really offer me anything to come on your channel. So this is what I'm going to do, Shanny. And it will only be voice because I would never, ever, 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 ever allow you to come on here on video because I know you'll porn bomb me. So, Shanny, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to offer you. How much can I get her today? Let me see. And this is only for today, Shanny. Only for today. You have to let me know on Skype whether or not you want to do this. This is only for today. Because tomorrow I'm going to be busy. I'm going to be on somebody else's channel. I will give you, I'll give you $100. I'll give you $100 if you, okay, and you're half a man, come on this YouTube channel and refute anything I said on here today. Anything. With proof, receipts. I get $100. And you have to stay on my channel a mandatory half an hour and answer questions from the audience. You have to answer questions from the audience without cussing, without yelling. And yes, I'm going to want proof for your cancer. I get $100. Now, if you can get that spatula, unglue yourself from the bed and stop playing those video games long enough like a 2-year-old, then we can actually have this going. So let's see what happens here. $100. $100. Contact me on Skype. It's going to probably be anywhere between 8 and 9 o'clock tonight. You ain't doing nothing. You guys ain't busy. You ain't got no life. You have absolutely nothing going on for yourselves whatsoever. So, and you guys are probably going to be up to about 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning playing video games and laughing at Pokemon or whatever. So feel free to come on here. Yeah, $100, Shanny. The same money I would have gave you had you not sat there and said I gave you a death sentence like the dummy you are. Like, I don't know how many G-smacks Shanny has to get before she understands that when it comes to me, she ain't winning. Yeah, you look good a little bit when I was in the house the first time, but I told you what I was going to do when I got out of there. I told you what I was going to do, and I meant it. And you found out super fast. And on top of that, you kind of destroyed your own career because you started, like, you know, smoking all of that weed, doing those wakey bakies, preaching the gospel of weed, which you still kind of do today. And then you started going out there calling everybody the N-word. And then you wonder why nobody cares about what you got to say on here no more. With all of this racial tensions that's going on in America, you dummy. Construction, minty fresh. That's what I do predominantly. I do other things too, but predominantly is construction. But that's going to change soon because my lower back is giving me a lot of problems these days. So I'm going to have to find something else to do on a more full-time basis. Mr. and Mrs. Dragnot on a luxury cruise, and Revelina and Shanny starving and suffering is epic. Well, I'm assuming the reason why you're saying that, celebrity juicer, is because when Shanny and them had that money, they was putting everybody down. They was making fun of people who was on EBT cards, and they was making fun of everybody because he was getting his little $4,000 a month from the stock market. Then, like everyone predicted, the stock market crashed, and he lost everything that he had. Well, that and the fact that Shanny spent him into oblivion. I'm really curious of how much money. Because I think Rev told me anywhere between 100 and 175,000 that Shanny went through when he had wet brain. And I'm dead serious. Between 100,000 and 175,000, Shanny went right through during the time of the wet brain time. I think he said between 100,000 and 175,000. You know, you can buy 2 houses with that money if you know how to shop. You know, that woman just wasted on some of the most stupidest stuff. Irresponsible with money. Yeah, Shanny spent his money hard on a bunch of crap that they don't even got now. Like, for example, how many of you seen the microphone video where I preserved that microphone and gave it back to him? I don't know if he knows it or not, but I got 4 more like it. I have 4 more just like that one. What is it, them Hermausers microphones or whatever? I got 4 more like it. He said he paid like $2,000 for that microphone or whatever. If he was spending all of that money, I need to go really take a lot of that stuff that I got and go get it looked at and see what that stuff is worth. I really do. She bought an expensive leather jacket that didn't even fit. Yep. She would go on these hauls and buy all this expensive makeup which she doesn't even have no more. To be honest, a lot of that stuff I throw in the garbage, I think. When Rev told me to throw everything away. Yes, Shanny, your man told me to throw it in the garbage. Your man told me to throw it away. Shanny lied to me about the PS5. She said the PS5 was going to be used to make money. Y'all don't know this, and I think I told this story a bunch of different times. When her and Rev came from Colorado and they came to, because I didn't watch all those videos of the cars and all that. I wasn't watching all that. But when I finally met them and I opened the door, Shanny knocked on the door and she said, "Here, we want you to have this." And it was the PlayStation 5, and I told her to keep it, and I told her she's going to need it to make money or whatever. Because for what I understood, they didn't have no work or nothing like that, and I was under the understanding that they was going to get a job and all that stuff. And I figured if they wanted to give it to me again later, they would. Turns out that they would have to be thrown out in the street before she got rid of that PS5. Just stupid retardation stuff. It's just stupid stuff. That PS5. the Durango. If the Durango was really in his name, what he could have did with the Durango is he could have went to anybody who had an apartment and said, "Listen, I'll give you this Durango. Give me rent. Let me live here rent free for the whole year. You can take the Durango." I mean, you would think that moron would think like that, but he never did. Herb ruined his own life. Says he now has to make he now has to make himself place no value on anything, because if he does, he will realize his mother's money is all gone, and also why. It's easier to make yourself not care. No anger, no anger this way. Mm. No, you're right about that. You're right about that, because now he's called himself a minimalist. He doesn't want to own a lot of things no more. But Rev don't know. If he starts, first of all, I'm gonna make Rev go through pain. I'm not gonna make this easy for him. I don't know about you guys, but this is what I'm gonna make him do. Because their breakup is coming. Trust me, their breakup is coming, and Shanny's probably gonna be the one that's gonna walk away, because Jason doesn't got any balls. So I think after Shanny breaks his heart and breaks up with him, he's gonna come on YouTube and talk about it, crying and everything, saying he should have listened, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. Jason, this is what I'm going to make you do. And I want to tell you this in advance. I want people to record this, because I mean this. Be prepared to go to everybody's channels and to own up to what you did to Zachary. You know what I mean? Be prepared to tell everybody that I was correct about what I was saying about how you guys smelled and how Shanny smelled and all of that stuff. Be prepared to, because me personally, I got some personal questions I want to know from you regarding her that I believe that you were lying to me about, that I would like to know. So be prepared to do all of that and eat the most humble pie you ever had to eat in your life before I give you back your games. Because I don't give you back your games, dude. I ain't got no problem with that. I'm preserving those things. I give them back to you, no problem. As soon as you pay the piper and you repent. When you repent, I give them back to you. I'll even give you back your lightsabers. Well, actually, no. After what you guys did to that door, and which I did to that wall, and which I did downstairs, nah, I'm keeping the lightsabers. Sorry, not happening. You're not getting the lightsabers back, but I'll give you maybe a couple of the games back. You know what I mean? So, Shanny, if you're gonna break up with him, can you stop wasting everybody's time and get around and doing it, please? Because he ain't gonna leave you. You're gonna have to leave him. Okay, and at least be smart enough, since you are a gold digger, Shanny, to at least find somebody that got money and can actually hold on to it. Because your reputation online right now, Shanny, is that you're a whore, you're a prostitute, you're a witch, you're a worshiper of Delta 8, and you're a gold digger. You only want men who got money. So you never have to work again. Oh, and I'm sorry, the next person you're probably going to be with is going to be a woman this time, according to you, out of your own mouth. Now, Jason, like I said, give me a call, man. When she dumps you, I should be the first person that you call. I need to be the first person that you contact. I need to be the first person. Nobody contacted me yet, but they want money. See, I bet you later on they'll make a YouTube video begging for $30 so that they can get Delta 8. But then they won't agree to come on this channel and get $100. Here's what it is. I mean, if I lied as often as Shanny did, I wouldn't want to come on here either. And she knows how I am. Anybody who's ever had to deal with me when I know that they're not telling the truth about something knows full well that my channel is the last channel you better come to. my channel is the last channel you better come to. She knows I'm going to embarrass her. Janice, good Christian girl, key cats. Did you see her rash, G-Man? No, and I don't think I want to. She's probably talking about that thing on her breast that she's claiming is cancer. More than likely, her and her man got kinky, and he bit her probably a little bit too hard. Or she fell and got bruised and want to call it cancer to get sympathy so she can get money. Shanny got no cancer. Until Shanny shows documentation from the doctor that shows proof, she has to go to Guy Singer or some medical facility where a professional can look at it and diagnose it. I don't believe a word that's coming out of her mouth. Anybody who does, you deserve to lose your money for being suckered. You deserve it. Shanny ain't got no cancer. Shanny's been dying of the same disease since 2018. I ain't paying Shanny no mind. It is fungal or bacterial. It's probably because she ain't bathing. Let me see. Because Shanny doesn't bathe that often. Purple Moon says, G-Man, she said recently that she never said she had a blood clot. Isn't that what she had the week you were signing her death certificate? Absolutely. She said, yeah, she said that she had a blood clot on her legs and she has to have her legs elevated. And Shanny, everybody's got it on their channel, Shanny. Everybody's seen it. I even got it on my channel, you liar. You know what I mean? You said you had a blood clot and you said you had to keep your legs elevated at all time. You are full of it, you liar. I bet you was able to get out that bed when they evicted you. Yeah, Shanny barely shaves, not shaves, barely bathes, barely, like maybe twice a week. That's it, from what I can gather. Because there's no way in the world a person can smell like that. And then on top of that, the bed that they were laying in, I gotta find that picture, man. Like when I took all of the sheets off of it, there was this big yellow ring around it, and then it went right through the bed, and it was on the other side of this big yellow ring, and it was like, ugh. And they were laying on that thing every day. Squatters' rights don't work like that. They think it does. You must abandon the property for at least 12 months as the owner. Right. Right. But let's just say, hypothetically speaking, she was going to do it anyway. I told Jason, I said, Jason, if she does it, I'll remove all of the windows in the dead of winter and I'll remove the roof. And I won't fix it until winter is over. And I'll tell you, if you don't like it, leave. You ain't got no lease and nothing protecting you hereby. That's exactly what I would have told them. I'm mean. I am not a nice person when people are trying to do that kind of stuff to me. I am not nice. I'm nice in other ways, but I got issues when I think somebody's trying to use me. I have issues that I need to seek professional help with. But anyway, I've been going on for an hour and 31 minutes. I was only supposed to do this for a half an hour. So I'm gonna wrap this up. Anyway, Jason, I'm gonna make another video like this again. Trying to give you practical advice on how you could be a man, stand up for yourself, develop a spine. You know what I mean? Like all other men out there do. But apparently you don't have any of these things, because if your woman says to do something, when she tells you to jump, it's how high, dude. That's not what a man who's in love. That's not what a man who's in love would do. That's what a spineless coward would do. And I don't know how you're from Scranton and letting her do all of that to you. But then again, I have heard about Pennsylvania women, so I don't know. You know, so heard about them. I'm not saying that none of that stuff is true. But Shanny, you're a terrible spouse. You're a terrible girlfriend. You're a whore. You need to go bathe, and you need to stop cussing every time you talk and claiming to be a Christian. And so do you, Jason, because you're no better. You're doing the same things too. Maybe not as often, but you're kind of copying your Lord and Savior, Shanny for Christ and Delta 8. All right. So with that being said, guys, I think I caught everybody who gave a super chat, right? Only one person gave, I think. So I'm going to give you guys that awesome outro, and we're going to get out of here because I got things I got to do. Here we go.